Have you ever seen something fall from the sky and wondered what it was? Chances are it was probably just a bird or a plane, but sometimes things fall from the sky that are truly mysterious and sometimes even dangerous. From the fallen cow to silverfish, follow along for 15 scary things that dropped from the sky. Number 15. Black stones. The notorious Mount Etna volcano in Italy has recently seen a series of explosions that have sent adjacent Sicilian communities into a state of mild fear as the fiery behemoth ejected hundreds of burning hot boulders and thick clouds of volcanic ash. Residents hurried to cover their automobiles with everything from blankets and rugs to cardboard boxes, and the world around them became coated in tiny, jagged pebbles as the shower of flaming pumice stones slammed down upon at least 8 neighboring settlements. One of the most active volcanoes in Europe, it has been spewing forth rivers of captivating, gooey, brilliant orange-red lava that's streaming down its slopes and lit up the night for at least 3 weeks before the odd and terrifying stone deluge. During its most active cycle, the notoriously erratic volcano has been known to erupt multiple times a year. We have never seen anything like it before. However, we can only assume that the locals must have been bracing for the worst as the apocalyptic shower of black stones rained down on their village.
Before we go on, like this video and subscribe with notifications, and you'll have amazing luck for the rest of the week.
Hidden topic. It all began with a single photo that was posted on the internet. The image showed a strange, otherworldly ship that had apparently crash-landed in a forest, and people around the world were left wondering if the photo was real or just a hoax. Some believed that it was a cleverly crafted fake, but others were convinced that this fell from the sky, but no one knows what it is. As the weeks went by, the mystery of the photo deepened. However, the location of the photo and who had taken it remains a mystery, as all information related to it seems to have vanished. But one thing was certain, the photo had sparked a debate that would continue for years to come. What are your thoughts about the photo? Do you think it is a fake? Comment down below with the hashtag hidden topic and let us know your opinion in relation to what we just showed you on screen. With that said, let's keep things moving. Number 14. Flying cow. Security cameras captured a sad scene of a cow that was very unlucky falling through a barn's roof, and the video eventually made its way online. Fortunately, the cow's frightening body could be seen walking away from the scene of its horrific fall. The occurrence, which is said to have taken place in 2020 on a cow farm somewhere in Brazil, went virtually unreported by the media. Only one tiny Brazilian news organization reported the event, but it did not actually give any information on the location of the farm where the incident occurred or an explanation for why the cow fell. Despite being eventually located and identified by investigative journalists, the farmer preferred to remain unknown and would not comment on the story. Although the UFO community has hypothesized that the strange incident may be somehow connected to the equally bizarre phenomenon of cattle or animal mutilation, the incident has never been fully explained, and more than 2 years after it occurred, the farmer and the rest of the world are still left in the dark about what exactly happened. Number 13. Great balls of ice. People were startled into running for cover as huge, orange-sized hailstones relentlessly rained down on them during an unexpected fatal hailstorm in the Catalonia area of Spain. At the time of the tragedy, in August 2022, the nation was still reeling from its most recent weather-related catastrophe. At least one person, a toddler, was fatally injured by the ice rocks during the violent storm, while dozens of others suffered injuries, some of which included fractured bones and serious head trauma. The unexpected storm not only claimed lives, but it also seriously damaged the region's infrastructure by destroying homes, uprooting trees, and smashing automobile windows. In several homes, the exceptionally huge stones even managed to break through thick tiles, seriously flooding them with stormwater. Around 7:30 o'clock in the evening, the storm began, and it lasted for many minutes with a large and terrible intensity. People in and around the Catalan town shot video of this spectacular incident. This is just one of the many instances where we can observe how radically the weather throughout the globe is changing for the worse. This is causing some anxiety for people all around the world. Number 12. Red rain. On a Tuesday in July 2018, the industrial Arctic city of Norilsk in far-flung Siberia, Russia, saw an extremely bizarre occurrence. Blood red rain that was created by an unusual weather occurrence in the vicinity can be seen streaming down the street and dropping all over automobiles. Many of the alarmed locals believe the blood red rain to be a biblical sign of impending doom, but fortunately for them, there was a lot more commonplace reason for the odd rainfall. This eerie phenomenon, which has been known historically as blood rain, is relatively unusual, but has unquestionably been recorded for ages in hundreds of sites all around the world. Scientists have been able to pinpoint a number of natural causes for the unusual rain, and it seems that in this case, a nearby industry was to blame. The scraped-off dust residue was apparently left outdoors while a neighboring elemental sulfur store was having significant quantities of rust removed from its roof. The wind picked up and blew it into a nearby parking lot, where it dropped with the rain and resulted in this terrifying image. Number 11. Russian gold. A cargo jet inexplicably unloaded part of its incredibly precious cargo on a tarmac strip of an airport runway in the freezing Yakutsk area of Russia, creating a very strange image. According to official estimates, the jet was carrying roughly 9 tons of diamond and platinum jewelry in addition to gold and silver alloy bars. An apparent loading hatch malfunctioned on the AN-12 cargo aircraft while it was en route from Yakutsk to Krasnoyarsk. Then, trustworthy workers were told to find the bars that had been strewn throughout the runway. Although authorities assert that they had found all the looted goods, some residents of the freezing town believe that some of the bars may have fallen into a nearby snow-covered swamp. As a result, a sort of gold rush in the sub-zero temperatures occurred after an anonymous air traffic control source claimed that authorities had only been able to find pieces on the runway itself and had not yet looked everywhere else. Police said that only 3.5 of the original 9 tons of treasure have been found, so many people braved the chilly, wet snow to figuratively dig for gold. Number 10. Freak hailstones. In June 2019, people in the Mexican town of Guadalajara woke up to a strange sight on Sunday morning. They had been waking up to a world outside their windows that looked like a winter wonderland, and everything was coated in a thick coating of ice. This Latin American metropolis, with a population of more than 5 million, was officially experiencing a heat wave and had been experiencing sweltering summer days with temperatures of 31 degrees Celsius and higher. A weirdly timed hailstorm that caused extensive damage in the area poured nearly 6 feet of freezing pellets on houses and automobiles. The unseasonal ice storm stunned everyone, and Mr. Enrique Alfaro, the town mayor, informed nearby news organizations that he had never experienced anything like it in all his years living there. Over 200 houses and businesses were buried and destroyed by the unprecedented event, which was genuinely once in a lifetime. A number of automobiles were also washed away. Thankfully, no one perished, although a few minor hypothermia instances were noted. This continues to be one of the most bizarre and natural events that continues to astound us. Number 9. Flaming meteor. An unfortunate guy claims that a meteor crashed into his home and caused a devastating fire in a remote part of Nevada County, California, some 60 miles northeast of Sacramento. The region is populated by cattle ranchers. The unfortunate farmer, Dustin Posita, and his 2 dogs were relaxing at their house when an abrupt, loud explosion rippled across the often quiet area. The shocked guy alleges that immediately after the explosion, he smelled something burning and raced outside to his porch, only to discover it on fire. And although the odds of this happening are just approximately 1 in 4 trillion, he is now certain that his home caught fire after being struck by the blazing space debris. Strangely enough, earlier that evening, a brilliantly dazzling ball of light had been spotted speeding through the black Californian sky, and several individuals had come to the nearby fire department to report witnessing what may have been a meteor possibly falling to the earth. The incident was documented on video by witnesses from all throughout the region, and the fireball was believed to have fallen in a remote spot. Number 8. Boiled bats. Residents in the town of Campbelltown awoke one morning in January 2018 to some frightening images as sections of Western Australia saw one of the worst heat waves in decades, with some regions seeing days upon days of relentless, harsh temperatures as high as 40 degrees Celsius. Hordes of dead, limp bat corpses were spread around the New South Wales settlement. The unfortunate victims of oppressive, severe, and lethal heat that had been stifling the region had been the local colony of flying foxes, which had their home in the neighboring railway station. Their brains had been severely damaged by the searing temperatures, and as a result, they were entirely unresponsive, fell to the ground, and essentially boiled to death. Hundreds, if not thousands, of miserable winged animals plummeted from their perches high up in the trees as they had no other way to escape the oppressive heat, as their brains were being fried in temperatures of up to 45 degrees. They were no longer able to cling to the protection of branches. As many volunteers as possible helped the rescuers from the town's Help Save the Wildlife and Bushlands group save as many of the injured bats as they could. Number 7. Airplane engine parts. After sustaining serious damage to its right engine, which horrifyingly detonated mid-flight, a United Airlines Boeing 777 with more than 240 passengers on board was forced to make an unexpected return to the Denver International Airport, from which it had taken off only a few minutes earlier. The tragic airplane had also scattered pieces of its exploding body throughout the Colorado community of Broomfield. The terrifying occurrence happened on a peaceful Saturday afternoon, and several locals reported hearing a tremendous explosion before seeing massive metal pieces falling from the sky all across the neighborhood. The local police reported receiving several complaints of damaged houses and automobiles, but fortunately no one on the crashing aircraft or on the ground was wounded. One especially massive chunk could be seen resting in the front yard of a house. Zach Allen, a member of social media, published dashcam video captured only a few seconds before the terrifying tragedy. After that, Boeing released a statement urging the immediate grounding of all 777s equipped with that specific kind of engine. Number 6. Dead birds. Security camera video from a tranquil area of the Mexican town of Chihuahua captured the moment a massive flock of migrating yellow-headed blackbirds suddenly seemed to fall straight out of the sky in the middle of flight. The vast flock of thousands of birds seemed to plunge down to the earth before colliding into the pavement all at once. Many of the birds can be seen laying dead or rendered entirely helpless on the ground thereafter. However, some of them managed to regain their composure and rapidly flew off again. Authorities subsequently reported that roughly 100 birds perished in the enigmatic occurrence, which occurred while the birds were traveling south from far-off Canada where they had spent the winter. Several possibilities have been put up, but experts have not been able to determine the precise cause of the odd behavior. The flock may have come into contact with hazardous vapors at some point during their flight, according to some, while others speculate that they may have collided with electricity wires, being subjected to 5G radio wave pollution, or being pursued by a huge predator. Number 5. Unidentified falling objects. On a peaceful Saturday evening in April 2022, neighbors of Nagpur, the state of Maharashtra's winter capital, were astounded and enthralled by a peculiar sight in the sky above their villages. A wonderful display that is both enthralling and curiously unnerving can be seen in creepy footage captured by multiple social media users showing thick streaks of burning lights shooting over the night sky. Similar events were taking place in the neighboring states of Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat, where the bizarre meteor showers were also seen on camera. Following the amazing light display, it was claimed that 2 different communities had discovered a gigantic metal ring and an odd steel item that resembled a cylinder. The mystery, unexplained falling items are most likely rocket boosters that fell off during a satellite launch but were taken away for analysis. However, to search for any other components similar to these that could be located, the Disaster Management Control Room in Mumbai sent junior revenue officers to every hamlet in the district. Number 4. Silverfish. Let's say you're out on a walk and a drop of rain unexpectedly hits you in the head. Then you glance up to check whether it's going to rain and you get smacked directly in the face with a fish. This exceedingly nasty yet amusing scenario might very well have been a reality for some inhabitants of a tiny town in India. After witnessing abnormally heavy monsoon rains, Telangana residents awakened to a spooky downpour of fish that filled the streets with their slimy, fluttering bodies on 2 consecutive days in July 2022. Many of the falling fish looked to be alive and well despite being swept kilometers away from the sea by the monsoon. There are a few fish species known to science that can survive being deprived of water for days on end and can even move about very efficiently as they battle along in quest of any nearby water supply. For ages, stories of fish falling from the sky have been repeated, with hundreds of documented incidents from all around the globe. The unusual precipitation is frequently caused by whirlwinds that move over water and form waterspouts. They have incredible lifting power, and the whirling vortexes of water may empty an entire pond or suck up an entire unfortunate school of fish swimming in the wrong location at the wrong moment. Number 3. It's raining drones. What was meant to be an amazing demonstration of technical prowess in the Chinese city of Zhangzhou turned out to be inconceivable. Very seldom have events taken the course they did on this October day in the capital city of China's Henan province, despite the fact that the futuristic nation is widely recognized for the magnificent aerial light displays it produces with the assistance of swarms of coordinated, choreographed groups of drones. At first, everything appeared to be going well at the much-anticipated anniversary festivities of a nearby store, which attracted large crowds of people, when suddenly several of the unmanned aerial vehicles simply turned totally black and began falling to the earth one after another at incredible speeds. The drones were conducting a dynamic and energetic show of multicolored light patterns. The drones dropped like rain, striking vehicles and people, forcing many to flee for safety while also igniting some pandemonium. The mall employees afterwards gathered up 200 drones that had unexpectedly broken down. This was not at all how the performance was intended to go, and it is really strange that all these drones stopped functioning all at once. Number 2. Levitating broom. A perplexed TikTok user captured something quite unusual in the gloomy sky above him while out doing his routine round of deliveries. As he records what looks like a traditional, old-school broomstick floating motionlessly in the air above the suburbs, the frightened motorist is speechless and at a total loss for words. At one point, the driver actually exits his car to get a closer view of the strange but modest cleaning device and zooms in. The levitating broomstick seems to be unconnected to anything and just hangs in midair, making little, jerky motions, but without seeming to have any particular destination in mind. The guy says that the witchy equipment just stayed there, hanging in the sky until he ultimately had to go somewhere and drove away. Brooms are revered as a good luck charm all across the globe. The mysterious motorist may have some good luck in life as a result of this odd supernatural meeting, since they sweep away bad luck and defend against evil. Number 1. Angel hair. It is known that a variety of spider species have the ability to fly. Although not in the conventional sense, they are capable of covering great distances by employing their fine, sticky webs as parachutes, allowing them to move over the terrain with the help of just a strong wind. But because they don't usually do it in such big crowds, this is special. Video footage shot in Australian communities around the state of Victoria demonstrates how fast these little 8-legged terrors can turn the globe into a terrible hellscape. The migrating arachnids leave behind a really nightmare landscape. Angel hair is a misleading name for these wispy webs they leave behind, which cover the whole planet in a sea of sticky webs as far as the eye can see, covering everything from telephone poles to entire suburbs. The spider apocalypse is often brought on by millions of spiders running away in large numbers from increasing water levels during severe floods, and this region of Australia had in fact been experiencing record rainfall and localized flooding in the days before the awful catastrophe. These odd objects crashing down out of the sky have us all shocked and proves that it's always a good idea to keep an eye towards the sky when out and about. For now, be sure to check out our other videos on screen right now, and thanks for watching. See you next time.